think we pretend to be someone out of a desire to fulfill the expectation of someone else. We want to try out different identities, different characters, try out different bodies, different personalities, to see if there is more to it, to find out if we aren't stuck, somehow trapped in this idea that this is all we are. I think we pretend to be someone else out of fear, out of a fear of being judged to be something. And there is also this shallow desire of standing out in the crowd. And we all want to be so different from each other, and we all want to somehow fit in a social group. And pretending is the most easiest and most effective way of obtaining attention, of being noticed, of camouflaging what you are afraid to show. And I think this works for most people, because most people just carry normal and random lives, and most of them just don't want to be bothered in being honest about the conflict that there is within them. And somehow people matter too much, and having the approval of others is more important than the integrity of the own persona. I am bugged about getting to the core self, the one that remains through all these fragments, pieces of personality. I wanted to agree that there is this essence or this self that remains throughout time, regardless of what place you happen to be in, who you chose to love and to hate and to build relationships with. Despite all the experiences, there is something within each body, each brain, that remains the same, almost as a pattern of behavior, of identity, of the persona the person is. I wanted to agree that there is this core self that remains in all the projections one estimates in their lifetime. But I want to also think logically, and it doesn't make much sense to believe that some part of our self is changeless. We are all shaped by experiences, and every day there is something new to us. And now whether the new is good or bad, that is not up to me to decide. But what I want to get at is that there is no core self responsible for the awareness of the projections of multi-personalities, because after all, pretending to be someone is creating this new body, this new image of ourselves. It's sort of like a new aspiration to what we want to be, or what we need to be to get through something. And this happens for so many people, as some of the viewers are discussing and commenting things. When you commit a crime, how do you get away with it? How do you lie about it? If you choose to lie, you need to create this new you, this new individual that went through different experiences. Basically, it's creating a new life, a new story. And ultimately, that person does exist, even if it's in the mind. So all our projections of the self are independent of a core self, but are a reflection of a conscious being. They are the choice of someone. They are molded by someone. And it's a desire. And desires do get to be real and do get to be experienced and do get to be the mirror of someone's body. I'd also be curious in understanding how people who suffer from these distortions within their brains, these sort of huge, complicated conflicts between their personalities and between their awareness of emotions. So basically, people who either suffer from multiple personality disorder, how aware are they of the projections they created? How aware are they of the people they are impersonating at different times, different fragments of their lives? And then people who suffer a very wide range of emotions, who go up and down on the scale of happiness and depression, how do they cope with being so different but always in the same stage in life? Because sometimes you are surrounded always by the same people, always by the same situations, and if you are experiencing different emotions and different opinions, how can one cope with changing themselves in such short periods of time? They can't be separate individuals. They all have to converge into one being that is just somehow shapeless and just molds into this free will, into this choice of what is best and what is most suited for the situation at this given time. Sometimes we role play like actors do, and there is this pressure of having to be idealized, and some actors don't have what it takes to give an example to an audience, to set the example. And if they have so many people following them because they embrace this character in a fictional life, so in a movie, sometimes people can't separate these two parallels of reality, the one that we choose to be entertained by and the one that we live in. And when people don't seem to distinguish these two parallels, then they sort of tend to converge the one that exists in the fictional reality with the one that exists in these sort of daily experiences. And the person that is one but is actually two now suffers this pressure, and how justifiable is it for them to create these different projections just to fulfill the desire of someone? I want to know if it's good for us to pretend so much. Is it good for our integrity as individuals, and how truthful are we being to our characters, to ourselves, to our development? I don't know.